Hi, so today I'm going to show you how I paint the Fallout bases for the game Fallout Wasteland Warfare made by Modiphus. It's pretty easy and it looks, I think, very good. So yeah, let's get to it. The first step will be to airbrush the whole base with greenish brownish paint. So for this I'm going to use Dark Earth by Ticos. I now will be adding some spot of Beastie Brown by Vallejo Game Air. As well as a tiny little bit of, let me focus on this, Midstone by Ticos. So, now I will take my dry brushing brush and a medium dark grey. So here I use Tank Blue Grey by Ticos still. And I will simply dry brush the base. Next step is another dry brush with grey. I want a lighter grey, so for the cheap solution I use some grey primer by AK Interactive. So as you can see, this part is already a lot lighter than this one. So now, back to the airbrush. I'm going to use this time slightly orange brown, so I use Barbarian Leather, and I'm going to use it with the airbrush. And I just spray that color where I want the dust to be, well, to be on the base. For example, on a finished base, the part that you can see to be orange here are the parts where I spray this color. I will then use some bright orange, so for this I'm going to use Angel Red by Ticos. And I will spray this color on top of the brown we did just before. As you can see, I just add some dots. I don't want something to be homogeneous. I don't know the word, but I want it to be very random, so it will look more natural later. Now I will do the exact same thing I just did with the orange, but using some really dark yellow So here it is mid stone by confortable. So now I'm going to take back my dry brush and the color I will be using is bone color. So this one is simply called Bone and it's by confortable once again. And I dry brush all the base again. So now we are going to paint every detail remaining on the base. So I will start with the wood. So for this I'm going to use a pretty random brown. It's simply the old foundation brown color. So now I will do all the bricks. So for this I got the perfect color, which is brick red. Once again, confortable. And there is apparently a tiny little Nuka-Cola bottle on the second one here. That's funny, I didn't see them before. And I'm also going to use this red on this. Looks like a Nuka-Cola dispenser. Vending machine, maybe. Here. So while this machine is drying, I'm going to paint the sewer booth. So I start with a very dark brown. And I just apply this on the booth. So, found it. I wanted my bright red, which I can't open. Here. So this is simply Formula P3 and it's I can't read. Cador Red base, apparently. And I will also paint the small Nuka-Cola bottle with it. So my camera decided to act up a bit, so I hope I didn't lose too much footage. What I just did is I painted the edge of the base black and then varnished everything with Vallejo satin varnish. So now what we are going to use are puddles. I don't use modelism or miniature specifics, too expensive for the same stuff. I just use those big pot of well, puddles. So I use two colors, so it's burnt sienna, and here I have ochres. So In order to get the powder to stick to the base, what I'm doing is I keep a bit of varnish in the airbrush. I spray it on the base. So as you can see, it's still wet, and then I just use my brush and apply the powders. As you can see, I try to mix both the sienna and the yellow to get some patches like this. I think it just looks not necessarily more natural, but it looks better to me. Here, I won't add more, it would be pretty much overkill. So now that we are done with the powders, what I like to do is I take back this red, my precise brush, and on the base you got some Nuka-Cola bottle caps, and I just paint them afterwards so they pop out a lot more than they would otherwise. I just repaint the edge with black. So now, for the final step, we are going to add grass. So yeah, sometimes I just cut them so I got smaller tuft. I don't know. And I just glue them on the base. You probably can't see, but right here, outside of the camera, let me just turn a bit here. So this right here is white glue. I just take this little thing, put it in the glue, and then I can stick it to the base. So I like to have different colors, so I got this yellow, I got green, and I got this the brown too. Here, this will do the trick. You don't want to overdo it. So now let me show you how it looks on a lot of models. For example, here I got the super mutants and a bit of the Brotherhood. And one other thing, when you are adding the powders to the base, add some to the model also. For example, I added some here, on the feet as well, here a bit too on the shoulder pad, here. It helps a lot to blend the model to the base to make I can't talk anymore. So it feels like they really belong together. So yeah, this is how I did all the Fallout Wasteland Warfare bases. So I hope you learned something and you found it interesting. Bye.